Scoot Henderson from the G League Ignite goes at number 3 to Portland, which means they didn't trade for a veteran, which means we now start asking questions about Damian Lillard's future.
A couple of videos ago, I made a bold prediction, and I really thought I had it right. I thought for sure it would be just like any other season where Dame and Portland end up together like they always do after every offseason full of rumors and speculation and Stephen A. Smith begging and pleading. But it seems like Joe Cronin, GM for the Portland Trailblazers, is so clearly setting things up to force Dame to ask for the trade. Hit the like button for me. It really helps the channel out. And tell me in the comments below, do you think it's too late for the Blazers to secure the right kind of talent to keep Dame in Portland? I have quite a few Blazers friends, and I think they mostly agree that this is kind of a cowardly move by Cronin. But it is a move, and for him, an effective one. Right now, it seems like the most likely destinations are Miami, Philadelphia, or the Brooklyn Nets. And Miami, not only because of Dame's IG Live, where he's sitting there talking and Welcome to Miami is playing in the background, but Miami fits a lot of the criteria for a Dame trade. It's in the East, and the Blazers don't seem to want to send him anywhere in the Western Conference, and understandably so. Another reason, he's going to likely be treated as kindly as possible on his way out the door if he ends up going out the door. Joe Cronin does not want to ruffle any more feathers than he has to as he's kicking this mama bird out of the nest. If Dame wants it, I think Cronin will respect his wishes and send him where he wants to go. That's why these trade packages that I drew up might not seem quite worthy of Dame's talent. Look what Bradley Beal did to the Wizards with the only no trade clause in the NBA. Damian Lillard doesn't have a no trade clause, but he kind of might as well. It's bad enough to a lot of Blazers fans that they're ripping off this Dame bandage, but to treat him any worse on the way out, that could cause fans to revolt, give up their season tickets, maybe even protest. It is Portland after all. So I drew up a couple of trades here to see if I could give the Blazers a W through all this madness. But warning, one of the worst parts of this Dame situation for the Blazers is the teams that he might want to go to do not have very much to offer. So I apologize in advance for the brutality of these trades. All right, so we are going to obviously send Damian Lillard to the Heat, but I'm going to do one better for the Blazers. I'm going to just get rid of Keon Johnson because I feel like Blazers fans will not miss him, and why not get him out of their hair since you don't have much else to be happy about with this trade. So the first two players, and forgive me, that we're going to send from the Heat are Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson. Now, neither of these two players do I expect the Blazers will want to keep, but for whatever reason, Tyler Herro has value. So these two players, the Blazers will then need to trade away and recoup some value, maybe get a pick or two. Still, we are not close to giving the Blazers something to be happy about. So we're going to give them Caleb Martin, a nice piece that I do think they would want to keep. He's 27 years old. He is not a guard, very important, and he's on a great contract. Next, we're going to give the Blazers a little bit of size here with Nikola Jovic and a nice young piece that they can try to develop. Great contract for 3 years, 6'10", and now they've got a couple of good pieces that they will want to use. Now we're going to get into the picks, and we're going to trade Jamie Jaquez Jr. from UCLA, still represented by this 2023 first round pick, went 18th overall. Then we're going to grab this second rounder in 2026 because one bad thing about the Heat trade is they don't have a lot of accessible picks because you can't give up every first. It has to be every other year, and they've got some odd ones missing. The first accessible first round pick that hasn't been drafted is the 2027 for the Heat, and they are going to trade that as well. Let's see if this trade works. It is a success. Now, really quickly, once again, my rationale here. Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson are pieces to move for more cap relief and/or picks, someone's going to want Harrow. Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, Jamie Jaquez Jr. 3 players the Trailblazers can throw into their rebuild. 2 of them, Jovic and Jaquez, young with decent upside. All of them on friendly contracts. Now, I know the Blazers are going to want more than just the 23 first round pick and the 27 first round pick. But the Heat don't have a lot to offer. And this would be a scenario in which Damian Lillard says, I want to be a member of the Miami Heat. Okay, so I tried long and hard to come up with a trade between the Blazers and the 76ers to pair Damian Lillard with the reigning MVP, Joel Embiid, but it was way too tough, to the point where I don't think that would ever happen because they just don't have anything that could beat these other 2 trade packages from Miami and Brooklyn that aren't even that enticing in the first place. We start with Damian Lillard to the Nets, and once again, Keon Johnson, you're taking him off the Blazers' hands as well. First player given up by the Nets, we're gonna go with Dorian Finney-Smith. He's a really good defender. I think this is a player that the Blazers would actually like to have on their roster. Could be wrong. Once again, he is not an undersized point guard, something they have to stay away from. Guards in general, they don't need. So they get a nice power forward here to throw into the mix. And I don't think his contract is outrageous. Another shooter here, one they're obviously going to throw off the bench, Joe Harris. Great thing about Joe Harris is he's on a 1-year deal. This will expire for them, freeing them up to continue this rebuild at a rapid pace. Same thinking here with Royce O'Neal, 1 year, then they can get him off the books, and we're going to be seeing a completely different Trailblazers team pretty soon. Now let's get into the picks that the Nets can send, and I think that they are definitely better than what the Heat are offering in this hypothetical scenario. The Nets are going to trade away Jalen Wilson from Kansas. They drafted him at number 51, another young player for them to see if they can get to work out. The Nets 2025 first rounder via Phoenix, the 2027 first round pick from Phoenix as well, and Houston's first round pick as well. So 3 first round picks and a second rounder. Royce O'Neal, expiring contract. Dorian Finney-Smith, nice piece for them to use with some size and good defense. Joe Harris, a shooter off the bench that frees up $19 million after a year, and you're able to get rid of Keon Johnson, which, let's be honest, was a mistake from the beginning. Tell me what you guys think of these trade packages. I know it's not what Blazers fans want, but is there anything you would do differently? Thanks for hanging out. See you guys next time.